All right, how y'all doing today? My name is author Willie C. Williams. I'm on S.T.A.R.V.E.TALK with J. Haleem.
I'm in the studio 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 with J. Haleem. I'm in the studio with J. Haleem.
You are now in the studio with J. Haleem.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Haleem. We are back in the studio one more time for another episode of S.T.A.R.V.E.TALK. And y'all know how much I feel about authors because I'm a 3-time author. So I got this brother here from the great state of South Carolina. Y'all know I made my bones in South Carolina. So I'm glad to talk to this brother about his book and about his story, more importantly, because he definitely fits the bill for an individual that understands the word STARVE and our acronym for STARVE, which is Stand Tall and Reclaim Victory Every Day. I believe he walks it, he talks it, and then he ended up writing it. So
Right.
I want to introduce you guys first to Mr. Willie C. Williams. How you doing, Mr. Willie?
I'm doing good. How you doing today, man?
Doing well, man. Thank you so much for all that you're doing. I've been watching everything that you're doing and just, again, taking the time out to talk to me today. So let's get right into it, man. You know, you're an author, but it didn't start that way.
Nah, it didn't.
It didn't start that way. So you're from Mullins, South Carolina.
Mullins, South Carolina.
So how was that? And what, you know, people, everybody got their thoughts about what Mullins, South Carolina, or just South Carolina period. Because I'm originally from New Jersey. So when I came to South Carolina for college, I thought I was going to see nothing but cows and Piggly Wigglies and all that. But then I ended up coming to Columbia. So I'm like, oh, it's not that bad, you know? So how was it in Mullins, South Carolina?
Well, in Mullins, you're going to see the cows and the pigs and the, and the Piggy Wigglies, you know what I'm saying? So Mullins is a small town, and there's not even 5,000 people in Mullins. So if you check your almanac, you check your almanac right now, the city of Mullins not even in it because you got to have 5,000 people in the town to even make it to the almanac. So Mullins is real small, man. Everybody know everybody. You know, yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, and I went to school with a bunch of people at Benedict from Mullins, so met some good people there. And you know, so growing up in Mullins, you know, what was it like, man? You know, what was your school situation like? Were you know, great student? How was that?
Well, I was an average student, you know. As I got older, I kind of downplayed, you know, being smart. So it was, you know, life in Mullins was good, man. I ain't got no complaints about it. You know, make you very humble. You know.
Yeah.
They make you very humble living in a small town.
Did you have a chance to go like visit family in other bigger places and see other things?
Well, you know, I was born in New York City.
Oh, okay.
So I came, my parents died in 78. That's how I got to Mullins, South Carolina.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm originally from Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah, I'm about 20 miles away from Brooklyn and across the bridge in Jersey.
That's right. Yeah. So it's a different, I think I got a different mindset because I was, you know, to that when I was younger and coming to South Carolina. So my mindset gonna be a little different from.
Yeah, we identify with that very well because that I experienced that same thing when I came down to South Carolina at 18. I was on something different than the people I was around for the most part. Right. You know, I was, you know, the fast talking kid, you know, always on my hustle.
Always.
Yeah, that type of situation. So, you know, I totally get it. And I'm asking you these questions because I know your story, but I want to paint the picture for the person, you know, who's listening right now or who's viewing. And so they can kind of see, because a lot of times we have stereotypes. We have, okay, well, I came from a broken home, or my dad wasn't there, or this, that, and the third, and it put us in a certain situation. Or I come from wealth, and this is what put me in this situation. So I want the people to see where you fall in that category. You know, so after you become an adult and you start, you know, what does that look like? Do you just go right into working, or what was your space after school?
Okay, well, after I finished high school, I went to Morris College right there in Sumter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying I didn't finish, you know, but that's when I got into the streets. Because I had a lot of, when you go to college, you have a lot of opportunity to do anything you want to do, but you don't have that person over you. So I got into the streets, and one thing led to another. And then in 1996, that's when I got sentenced to 45 years in prison for attempted murder.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got sentenced at 96.
Don't go
you
too
know.
far past that. Don't go too far past that.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So you're mixing up. You in the street. What gets you to this point? Far as you know, was it you know, just an altercation? Was it beef? Was it just, like what was that? Maybe just a bad night. Just, you know, because a lot of times things be, you know, you got the gang situation now that wasn't really prevalent on the East Coast back in the day, but you know, what was going on when this happened to put you in that situation? And was this their first time getting in trouble?
It was most definitely my first time getting in trouble, but it was more, I was about to, you know, I was getting further and further along in college, and you see things, you want money. So I was about to get an intern at WLTX, Channel 19 in Columbia.
Wow.
So I met a guy, you know, he said, I know how it is. I know you need a little money, you know, so he gave me a little something, guard on the streets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I got into the streets real hard. You know, that money was coming fast. I just forgot all about school.
Yeah. I totally identify with that. You know,
all about it.
Yeah. I identify with that 100%. And so, you know, 1996, you mentioned you had got in trouble for attempted murder. Walk us through that situation. I mean, was this an enemy of yours? Was this a bad night, or how did that work out?
It was in the streets. So one thing led to another. You know, I shot him. You know, he owed me some money.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the streets is.
Yeah, no, I understand.
You let one person take it, and you know, somebody's gonna try to do the same thing. So
yeah, and I totally understand that. And so you getting sentenced to 45 years. Did you think that they were going too far with you on that?
Well, I think, you know, the way they did my sentence. So I got 20 years plus another 20 years. So I had to do 2 sentences really. So I had to do, it was like 20 years consecutive to another 20 plus the 5. So I had time everywhere, man.
Wow.
I had time here, you know what I'm saying, I had to do. So my mind was kind of out of there when I first got to prison. I was kind of angry at the world.
That's usually how that works. So at what point was the breaking point? Because in order for you to get out and be doing the things you're doing, something in there had to shift. And at what point did you have the shift, that mindset shift, to where you can say, okay, if I get another shot, I'm going to do something different?
Well, I think it was, for me, it was when I went to prison, my daughter was 4 years old. Mm-hmm. Right? So the shift came to me when she was able to come up there by herself, you know, without, she was driving up there by herself. So the officer was like, is that your daughter? That's your daughter? So I've been to one prison for 15 years. Wow. They kept me in one prison for 15 years. So a lot of the officers met me. Yeah. I know they met my daughter. So as within those years, I've got a little reputation with the officers. Yeah. So they let me do things that I ain't supposed to do as a normal inmate because I was there so long. So the new ones come in. So now it's like a new regime. Yeah. So now you think you this, you think you that. It's a new guys here. So, you know, that was the turning point for me. When my daughter was 18 years old, she was able to come and see me by herself. So I was like, man, I got to get up out of here. Wow. That changed my whole way of thinking. So you got a chance to watch your daughter grow up, and the people that you were, you know, gelling with was watching your baby grow up. Right. So that definitely had to be tough on you. Changed me, man. To see that. And so did anything that you do differently in there? Was it a religious thing? Was it just you just saying, I'm gonna read more books, I'm gonna study? What was some of the things you were doing to prepare you to come home? Because I mean, you didn't do all that time, so something had to happen for you to be a significant reduction. Okay, so I'm gonna let you know how my testimony. That's how God worked for me. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. So, like I'm saying, in '96, I got caught. You know, I went to prison. So in 2008, I got caught with a cell phone. Okay. So they put me in consolidated confinement for 6 months. So I couldn't do nothing for 23 hours a day. I had to stay in my room in jail cell for 23 hours a day. So instead of going crazy, I just started writing. So I started writing a rhyme. right? Now, you know, characters, I was like, well, I can put this character in there, put this character in there. The next thing you know, I had like four chapters of a book, right?
Yeah.
So I just kept on writing. So within that 6 months, I had a book and a half.
Wow.
So I wrote these books in 2008, and here it is, 2022.
Wow.
So that's how God worked, man. I never intended to be no writer. It was just that situation that I got caught with a cell phone. I had to go to the hole for 6 months, and I just started writing, man. And God just took over my hand, and we started writing. And here we are today. You know,
Yeah.
20, maybe 2,500 sold so far.
I love it. I love it. So now you're in there and you're writing, and when you at the 6 months, when you come out and you know that you have, were you done with, like you said, a book and a half? Was that the end, or was you had 2 books when you were done, or was it just a book and a half when you after the 6 months?
Well, after the 6 months, it was a book and a half. Then I got back in population, and I just kept on writing.
Okay.
So I ended up with 3 books. I got 3 books. So I got the next book coming out this Father's Day, part 2. And then I got the next one come out 2023 Father's Day. So the next 3 years, I got these books coming out. So I really got a 5-year plan for my books.
I love it.
So within 5 years, I think these 3 books will get me 10,000 to the bestseller mark.
So this is for me. I you know, the big thing for me is like when you, because what year did you come home?
I came on 2013 after 17 years and 2 months straight, man.
So you had these books written in 5 years prior. So what was the marketing plan? You know, when you're like, hey, because what had to happen? Because did you know you were going to get out significantly early? Because from 45 to 17 is significantly early. So what happened to, you know, did you join any programs? Did you start working on some, or was it great behavior? Or did any laws change to get you to in a position, or did you redo your trial? Something happened like that?
So I was a model inmate, they say. So I didn't never get in trouble with that one time.
Yeah.
So within about 17 years and 2 months, I got in trouble one time. So I was a model inmate, they say. So my last 2 years of my incarceration, they sent me to a prison camp. Like, what is that movie called Life?
Yeah, yeah.
it was like that. So my last 2 years, they let me come into population, like they let me come back to society to like kind of adapt me back into society since I was gone so long.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was like a model inmate, man. I just had to do what I had to do. Like I'm saying, when my daughter turned 18, man, the whole mindset changed.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because you know, we all got brothers and sisters still, you know, behind the wall. And this kind of helps out, because if you can give a word and say, hey, well, I was a model inmate, or I used this program, because I got a young brother, family member of mine, who's facing he got a murder charge. And as soon as he went in, they said, well, if you get in this program, we can take 5 years off your sentence. And it was some type of program, he, you know, work release or something, I don't know, some type of thing he doing. And then, you know, so it was 5 years was coming. They gave him 30. So that automatically taking 5 off of it. Then he has some other things he's doing, and also he's going up for appeal. But, you know, if it's always about education for us too. So if you know something that another brother or sister can use to help, you know, because I feel like 45 years, if that's all, if it's something to shoot somebody, definitely. But the way they charging people, I don't see, if you shoot somebody, they should have 45 years. You didn't kill them. And then a lot of times I know people who killed people and got 10 years or less. You know what I'm saying? So, and then people that got drug charges, they run wild on them. So it's just, you know, again, we want to always try to educate and put people in position where they're learning something that they probably didn't know from somebody like yourself, because maybe they didn't go behind the wall, but they got a friend, a family, a brother, a sister, whoever is behind the wall, and something that can probably help them. That's why I'm asking those type of questions. But again, you get there, and at what point did you find out that you were going to be going home early? I mean, I know they sent you to the camp. Did they tell you before that, or you just was like, I'm cool, I'm going to the camp?
I was cool going to the camp because I was behind the wall for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So I went up, I made parole in 2013.
Okay.
So I still had to be on parole till 2018.
Okay. Was that your first time going up for it?
No, I went up 6 times. They turned me down 6. So matter of fact, what's the brother that been on your show? Me and Lester Young been
Lester?
together.
Yeah, Lester Young.
So that's my guy. So me and him was, so I took a lot of things from him back there. You know what I'm saying? I'm also still taking things from him out here on the street because he's doing
Lester's
some
a good
things.
brother.
Man.
Yeah, he's a good brother. Him and I did a bunch of things together. He's been on the show. And again, because I'm a felon, so we got to connect, and we know some of the same people, and Lester's doing amazing work out in the community. I've been a part of his programs, he's been a part of mine, and so we got to continue to support each other. So definitely. But that right there, you went up 6 times. Did you feel like, okay, well, is this just it? Because it's amazing that you went up 6 times in that amount of time. When you give up somebody 45 years, you would think it's a long term before they give you an opportunity to even go off for parole. Because like, if I got 45 years and I go off for parole in 5, I don't feel like I'm gonna get it. I feel like it's a waste of time because you gave me 45. You gonna let me out of 5? What was the point of doing all that? But then you got 6 times. So did you feel like it was a waste of time when you was going up?
No, because I went to they sent me from behind the wall to the.
So you felt good.
Yeah. The majority of the time, people, they do it like that. So I was a violent offender, so I had to go on parole every 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So I started going on parole in 2000, maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then I started going up, boom, every 2 years, they turn me down. So when I got caught with a cell phone in 2008, I had to go for parole like 2 months, 2 months later. So I had to go to up parole with the yellow jumpsuit on.
Yeah.
So I knew I was gonna make it then.
Yeah.
So I went back to the cell. I started writing, boom, 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 boom. They let me back in population. I went up for parole again 2010. I didn't make it. That's when they sent me to the prison camp in 2010. I stayed there 2 years on the prison camp. It was like Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence life, man.
Did you feel like in 2010 you gave them enough of an impression to say, okay, they might not let me out, but they see enough to know that I don't need to be behind this wall?
Yeah, because when I got to the prison farm, they didn't let me like go out and on the bus like everybody else with the chain. They didn't let me do it. They let me get on the tractor and drive down it and cut the grass by myself, go out in the country by myself. So they already knew what they had, and I already knew that if I do something wrong, them hunters, so they be out in the woods, they got the camouflage on, they will say, I'm gonna see if Willie gonna do something. I'm gonna see if Willie gonna go to this car. I'm gonna see if Willie gonna do this. So I was always mindful when they let me out there by myself, because I had 45 years. And they let me out there on the street by myself with no supervision, cutting grass. Yeah. So I know they was always watching me. So I had to do what I had to do to get home.
So you in there, you write the book. And when did you immediately name it Ballin when you first did it, or did it have another title?
Well, it had different titles because I was gonna call it Colors because of the characters. Most of the characters got color last name, black, brown, green. And I'm like, nah, that sounds like a game. Then I'm gonna call it the Mud because Mullins the Mud. But then I heard Lil Wayne and Young Jeezy song Ballin' when I was on lockup in 2008, 2009. So I said, man, that sounds like a good. So that's how I named it Ballin'.
So explain to everybody, the title. I mean, you got the title from them. That was the inspiration, but why was it significant to what's in the book?
Oh, because of the book is balling. It's the real life balling. Cars, women, houses, jewelry. My book is about 6 best friends from Mullins, South Carolina, growing up. Going out to the world and becoming famous and coming back to Mullins, South Carolina and balling out. So I got a character in there that make it to the league. I mean, I say the league in my book. I didn't say NBA in my book. Yeah. But I just said the league. Yeah. So I have 2 other guys in the book. They go on to the NFL. I just say the draft. Yeah. So a lot of stuff in my book is like the McDonald's and McDowell's thing. I dig it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to put NBA in there. I just say the league. So this it's a guy. Just like I had a coach named Mark Gerald. He had died. So in that book, I gave a little tribute to him. Instead of saying the Heisman Trophy, I said the Gerald's Trophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just put it up like McDonald's and McDonald's, like the Coming to America thing. So I just put that thing
No.
up
I'm with you, man. I'm with you, and that's good. That's good. You know, they like you said, they ain't paying you to be in your
right.
book. So you know, you putting the book together. What part of this, you know, came from the content came from your own background, from your life, besides using Mullins, any inspiration?
Well, my book comes from talking. So I've been in prison so long, and the young guys come in, and they telling me about ecstasy and all these pills they popping to have sex with these women.
Wow.
So I'm like, you did what? With what? So now I'm putting them in. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing stuff down. I said I could do this. This guy say he did this to this female, that to this female, and this. So I could put that in the book.
Wow.
So a lot of stuff I wrote in this book is from people telling me what they did.
Listen, that means you were making good on your time, man, because one thing I tell people, you want to go to church or to jail, you find anybody in church or jail.
You got plenty of characters. It's plenty of characters back there.
Yeah, plenty of characters. People, you're gonna learn so much from individuals if you go to church or jail, because those are the same. That's the only places, or the hospital. You're gonna see people, axe murderers to the nicest person in the world. They can end up in church or prison. It don't even matter. It's just one decision, that separates them, and that's it. But you can learn so much, and a lot of people don't use that time to be creative.
They want to play cards or dominoes or gamble. I didn't never play no cards or gamble or learn how to play chess. I was always, like reading books or in the library or, trying to do martial arts. You're playing basketball, cutting hair, something like that.
What was your favorite book? What was your favorite book?
I was mostly in the Zane and Terry Woods, urban novels.
Okay.
Iceberg Slim. So that's basically how my
Donald
book
Goins. Yeah.
Those type books. Yeah. So that's how my book is. You know what I'm saying? So like I had a conversation with a pastor around here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Hi, Pastor, I ain't gonna say his name." Yeah. So I said, "Hey, Pastor, how you you like my book?" He said, "Oh, Mr. Williams, your book vulgar." So I was like, hold up. I said, "Hold up, Pastor." So you got what I'm saying? I understand I'm a brand now. I gotta be professional.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Pastor," I said, "Hold up, Pastor." I said, "Hold up." I said, "The Bible got all type of stuff in it."
Mm-hmm.
Right? I said, the Bible got all type of men messing with boys, rape and all type of stuff. So that's how I got to come at him. So he was, he looked at it. He didn't know I was going to come at him like that.
I think that was right.
So I'm saying, I said, Pastor, don't say my book vulgar. When you teach out a book, they got all type of stuff in it. So
yeah.
So this book, man, got all type of people think they in the book, think I'm talking about them, So I like that. That's what they want to think, that'll get the more buzz.
Yeah. So you get the notification that you coming home. You're not coming home empty-handed. You're coming home with 3 books in your hand. What's the game plan? What's the plan from the time you leave to, hey, this is how I make this happen?
Well, I didn't really I wanted to put the books out, but I didn't really want to put the books out because I had needed money when I came over. You know how they need money.
Yeah, immediately.
So I started off at Budweiser warehouse, doing that. Then I said I ain't want to do that no more. And then I started doing construction. So I did a construction job for a little while, boom. Then that came very lucrative for me, man. I started my own little business, man. My own little business. But I started
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. And we walking the dog on this thing. We're going to get to that because I want people to know that transition, because just because from idea to fruition, sometimes it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, but I don't want people to feel like because you can't put your idea to work for you today, that you don't, you're doing what a lot of people ain't never been to prison or don't have a record, have problems with. Like me specifically, I teach when it comes to I Won't Starve. That's what this is about training. And you'll be surprised, the people who come home from prison or got felonies, they be motivated. The other cats that don't have a felony and they think, man, I got this idea and they just want it to happen overnight. Like you said, I got these books, but I need a bag real fast. I need to go get a job. I need to get acclimated. I need to get something going on. And so that's why I ask these questions, because you'll be surprised who you're helping. Yes, you definitely can. A person who's behind the wall or just coming home can see you, but it's a lot of people that never seen behind the wall, never don't have no encumbrances, nothing stopping them from going forward, but they're not going forward anyway. So they need to hear these type of things.
Right. So I try to. My thing is, I don't want to be no role model. I just want to inspire people. You know what I'm saying? I just want to inspire somebody. I don't want nobody to look at me, because I think the role model should start in the home first.
Yeah, it should. But the sad part about it is that's not what's happening. And so our role models, I tell people I never really had mentors. All my mentors were pseudo mentors. Once I got to, I lived in Newark, New Jersey. It's rough. The people I saw with suits and ties and business people were on TV.
Right.
And I had imagination. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw Martin in '96 in his movie Thin Line Between Love and Hate, with he always dressed nice talking to the girls. Or saw Eddie Murphy in Boomerang, and you see all the brothers dressed up. I didn't see that. You saw the Carl Winslow's and the Uncle Phil's, on TV shows and about Bill Cosby. I didn't see that in the hood, so I couldn't get that inspiration from that. But I'm like, wow, I do look cool living in a house like that, as opposed to living in a house 15 people in a 3-bedroom apartment. So like, how can you get to that point? So when somebody in Mullins or somebody in South Carolina can literally see you, and you might not want to be their role model. But I don't think we got a choice in that matter. If we keep breaking barriers, people are going to be like, yo, yeah, that's what he is. But the inspiration thing is perfect. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's on them to choose if you their role model or not.
Right. But I know that comes with the territory. Mm-hmm. But I put it in my mind, I don't want to be no role model, but I know a lot of people, looking up to me because it's in a small town, so it's certain things I can't do, certain people I can't go no more, certain people I can't be around at all. You trying to act funny, man, we're acting funny, if people see me now, some people that I grew up with, that I done been to prison, they ain't, they may have went to school for a little while, 2-3 years, but they back home still living with their mom and daddy. They ain't working. You know what I'm saying? So now their mom and dad go in the house and be like, yo, Willie Williams came home. He done started his business. He done started the book. So now when they see me, in public, they they mean mugging me now. They got their face balled up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I just want to inspire. Maybe I can inspire that person, to do what they got to do. I done inspired 2 people to start writing. They done wrote 2 books already, 2 people already because of that. That's amazing.
So, you go and get this job, and now let's go back to the job, because again, a lot of people, I became a felon in college, and when I came, I had to go to Benedict, and I couldn't it was hard for me to get a job. And so what was your transition? Did parole help you get the job, or, they just gave you a shot?
I mean, I had to maintain employment, residency, you know what I'm saying? So my mindset already was, I was back in prison working for free.
Got that right.
So what I did, I said, man, you gonna give me what? You gonna give me $10 an hour? So I was on it. $10, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? I'm wiping off tape. I was doing stuff I ain't supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting to go to work, but I'm sitting in the break area. I'm wiping off table, like maybe the manager or somebody see me doing something extra.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. So when you come out of prison, man, I would tell guys, man, the last thing that should be on their mind is a female. That's the last thing that should be on their mind is a female. I know it's gonna be the first thing that I want, but
that's a tall order, man. That's a tall order.
But you gotta stay focused, man. You gotta stay focused. You gotta get yourself together. You gotta get acclimated back to life, society, because it ain't gonna be the same as once was out there before. Because you guys got to stay focused, man, and maintain what you got to do. If you go to the left, you're gonna keep on going to the left, man. So you got to stay straight.
So you said amazing word a little earlier. You said inspiration. So who was yours when you came home? What was your inspiration?
Well, go back again to my daughter, man. When before I came home, she had a matter of fact, when I was at the prison farm, she had a child.
Okay.
So these books, really for my grandkids. So me and my oldest granddaughter gonna get the first one. She have ownership of the first one. Then the second one must, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm gonna do it. Generational wealth, man. That's my inspiration, man. Grandkids, my daughter. Yeah, that's it.
Love it, man. So
I ain't got no wife. I mean, I ain't got no wife.
yeah, they coming. You talking about getting this 10,000 books? They on the way.
Right.
They on the way. So listen,
I mean, I take it as it comes.
You got that construction job, and you said that was the one. That was the one to put you, in the situation. How so?
Because like I didn't know I can do this stuff. I went on YouTube and started learning how to put a floor down, how to do this, how to do that. Then next thing you know, I put it on Facebook, and then they're like, Willie, you do that, you do this, you do that. I'm like, yeah, I do that. So that's how it started rolling for me.
Yeah.
I was still working for a guy. We doing houses and stuff. And he said, well, when I sell this house right there, I'm gonna give you X amount of money off the house.
Yeah.
So I'm in there doing my thing. Boom, 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 boom. He sold the house. He just gave me a regular check. So I thought about everything I put on Facebook, on social media, all the painting and the floors I did. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go out on my own.
Love it.
That's when I started Can't Stop, Won't Stop property preservation right now.
Yeah.
So I got that. I'm the entrepreneur, businessman, author. I'm trying to do it.
So when you stepped out on your own, what was some of the things some of the trouble you encountered when you first stepped out? What was some of the things you encountered when you stepped out?
Well, getting equipment, things that I need, the tools that I need. That's about the only thing, because I had built my clientele. It was because I was working for this guy, and then on the weekends I do my side hustle.
Yeah, hustle while you work.
Yeah, so the hustle got so good on the side that I just said, I'm just going to, go out on faith and do my own thing. And it's been pretty good. So it got so good that I said, man, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this book out. So I use that. So I use the money in the construction to put the book out because, I'm doing it all by myself. I don't have no agent. I don't have no manager. I don't have no publicist. I'm the manager. I'm the publicist. I'm saying I got the editor. Everything you see on social media, I'm putting on there. Ain't nobody helping me do it. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneur, like the P, I got the Master P mindset.
I mean, again, this is while we, painting this picture, and I bring you back to certain points because I don't want to miss anything, and I don't want the people to miss the steps because everybody like, oh, it sounds easy for you because you're already doing it or you've done it, but it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? No. It's not easy at all. So. When I tell people about my story, I went to college. I even graduated college, but I couldn't get a job because I was a felon. So when I did get jobs, $8 an hour jobs, but I'm sitting here like I should be getting $60,000, $70,000, $8,000 jobs. I got a degree, but I couldn't do that. So when I said I'm gonna go out on my own 100%, that's where I Won't Starve came from because I'm letting them know like, I got a kid, I got a family and all that other stuff, but I'm not going to survive the way I want to off of this. I know I won't starve if I go do my own thing, but I always tell them it wasn't easy because it's not. We get that check get good to us, and that check coming every week, every 2 weeks, and you can plan your life around it. When you don't know when the money coming, I tell people all the time, I was like about 9-10 years almost since I remember when I knew when a check was coming. It's just me out here in the mud hustling, and I'm trying to make so many checks come, so it don't matter when it's coming. It's enough, as opposed to somebody that's on that job that's not getting treated the way they're supposed to be treated, because obviously they be trying to take advantage of you,
right?
Or they're not doing what they love, or they got skills that they're not using to flourish. What would you tell them? Because it seemed like it didn't take you long to see it was something going shady, and you're like, all right, let me go ahead and move on. But there's a lot of people that's been going on for the last 5 years in the job or in the space. What would you tell them, to move? How would you tell them to move on?
Well, I would tell them, just have your personal conversation with God. Have your personal conversation with God. He'll let you know what's going on. And then I just think about, things my brother told me, my grandmother told me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're on a job and that person know that you depending on that job, that you need them that for that job, they're going to try to take advantage of you. Because they know that you depending to take that job money to pay your light bill, pay your rent, whatever. So I'm a self-motivated person, man. I don't want to be like in that type of situation, so I don't need you today, Mr. Williams. You know what I'm saying? I've been there 30 years, and I don't need you today, Mr. Williams. So that's my mindset. My mindset is entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying, being my own boss, that Master P approach. So this, I tell guys, you know, this, if you want to do it, just do it. Just have your personal conversation with God. So just have your personal conversation with God, and He'll lead you in the right direction.
Yeah.
You're gonna be up and down. You're gonna be up and down. You're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? You may lose a little weight. You may not eat but one time a day, but you know, but you gotta put it out there. You gotta put it out there, man.
Yeah.
You gotta keep everything positive.
So you came up with the name of the book, Ballin, while you were still inside.
Yeah.
Now, does that word ballin mean something different to you now than it did then?
some so yeah, it do, because people don't even call me Willie no more. They say Ballin. So it took on a whole new meaning. I was like, you know, Ballin. So, you know, even sometimes when I go to the club, the DJ will, you know, he'll see me put the song on Ballin. So this book has changed my life, man.
Yeah.
It really has.
So I love that you set me up for this one. This was great. So it changed your life. Tell me somebody who read the book that you know and it changed their life.
Well, was a Sandra Gerald. What's the other lady name? Like I'm saying, it was two people that are inspired to write a book, and they book is out right now on Amazon.
Wow.
I was like, man, they got, you know, they gave me a little shout in the book and everything. I was like, okay.
I love it. I
want to inspire people. Like, man, I want to write a book too. So everybody now think I'm the smartest person in the world.
But you making it cool, and that's why one thing I love too, man. Because when I became an author, that was like the coolest thing for me. You know, out here doing service-based businesses and things like that, I still didn't feel like it was my own. And so I come from the same situation out and mixing up in the street. And when I created my first book, I was like, I felt like myself again. And then, you know, being able to have that thing, and it's cool because we never, you know, met authors. I know I didn't never meet an author when I was growing up. And you know, people look at authors like, wow, that's like a fabled creature. Like, you know, and so
we smart.
Yeah, like you super smart. And it's like, no, you just had the guts to do it, because a lot of people got like 100 books in them, but a lot of people just don't ever do it. And then to do it multiple times, it's just now it's like, okay, you're an expert. So everybody, you know, I've been able to speak and flew all over the country to talk about books. And I'm like, you know, this is just stuff that I got stuff in my second book that came out in 2020 that I put on YouTube in 2013. So I've been talking about this stuff.
Okay.
You know, nobody paid attention to it, so I put it in the book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can show YouTube videos that's probably like 30 views, you know, and I sold thousands of books. So it just was a different situation. So at the end of the day, it's an amazing scenario to be an author, and having grandchildren to be able to see that, because especially as a Black man, you know, I feel like we don't tell our story enough.
Right.
And that's why we get lost in translation. And of course, we don't read enough at all. You know what I mean? So now seeing you, it looks cool to read.
Right.
It's cool when you say I wrote 3 books, so I read X amount of books when I was down. It looks like a cool thing to do, to read. So, you know, I salute you again for that, and all the authors, especially the Black authors, because we need to do more telling our stories. That was what our ancestors did. You know, they passed down stories through our writings, and we have to do the same things. It's time for your book about you. You know, it's time for your biography. Not just it's coming because look, that story needs to be told, man. You know, how many people had amazing stories, but nobody told. My grandmother's from Bishopville, South Carolina. And and it's so hard for me to get something out of her, for her to tell me.
Yeah, the older ones, the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, they don't want to tell nothing. And I'm like, it can help, you know what I mean? It can help me navigate. So I'm like, look, I'm telling whatever's going on, you know, and I'm happy that you using this medium, this type of outlet as, you know, as an author, because you could have wrote a rap song. People took it as serious as the books, in my opinion. So, you know, I think that's dope. That's an amazing situation. So what does your daughter say about it?
Oh, she happy. She happy about it. You know, she happy about it.
I know that got to be the best feeling in the world, man.
Yeah, it's kind of different because now, your family members can't do certain things because they gonna be like, "Ain't you Willie Williams' daughter? Aren't you Willie Williams' grandson?"
Yeah.
So you do the spotlight on them too. So
But a good one though,
really
a good one because you in Mullins, so you away in Mullins, they know. You know what I'm saying? Who you are too. I mean, my dad, I went through that. My dad went away. He was in on the outskirts of Philly. Well, he's in Philly, but he was in a little small town outside of Philly, smaller than Mullins, called Phoenixville. When he went away, that was on every newspaper, everything. They like, yeah, your dad. And then the thing, I look like the Joker too. So it's like everybody. So that was what my dad was known for in that place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, the guy who went away to prison, drug charges and all this other stuff like that. And so I know that now your daughter, the light is on her, but for something positive.
Right.
So that's a blessing.
That's Willie Williams' daughter right there. That's the guy that wrote the book. So that's the guy, you the guy that wrote the book. I'm like, yeah. You release your father.
That's amazing, man. Yeah. So the name of this show is S.T.A.R.V.E.TALK. And again, the acronym for S.T.A.R.V.E. is Stand Tall and Reclaim Victory Every Day. So tell me, what does that mean to you? Stand tall, reclaiming victory every day.
What I get from that is be thankful, be grateful that you're still here. After the last couple of years we done been through. So you just gotta like stand firm. Stand tall, stay positive, inspiring, education, just stay right. That was what I think for me, man. That's pretty good. That's right. I done, had to do some background on you.
Hey man.
So I'm like, okay, this guy is, so I already know that you did, did time, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna have a nice little conversation today.
Man, it's an amazing situation for brothers to be able to build together, because a lot of time we don't talk, and my brothers aren't like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like the sisters are, but the brothers is like, who that? And so you gotta like open up and have conversation with other brothers, because we can actually move mountains together. We can do things that they don't think that we can do, but if we can have a network of brothers that we can connect with, and we can do a whole lot of things, man. Like I said, we talked about a good brother, Lester Young, and he's doing so many things. And I've had conversations with him. He's had conversations with me. And I just to see his growth, what he's been able to do, and then him seeing my growth. Like, he put his book out before me, his first book.
He inspired me too. Yeah. I was like, yeah, put a book out. I'm like, oh, I got my book sitting here.
But I put my book out. He said, I'm getting my second one, but I beat him to the second one with my second one. Then he came with his second one. Now I got my third one out. So we've been, but it's been healthy. It's been healthy. It wasn't no hate. It's been support.
Right.
Everybody's been like, oh yeah, go ahead, do it. And we've worked on city projects, county projects, stuff like that together to help other people in the community. So it's good to do that, man. So definitely, I was all willing to have you here on this platform. And that's what S.T.A.R.V.E.TALK is about, man, because for me, it's easy to try to get a celebrity. That's where I started at. I started years ago in DC interviewing celebrities going all over the country. I've interviewed the likes of Ice Cube, Tony Rock, some amazing people, DJ Khaled, some of everybody. But this gives me more gratitude. I'm grateful for this situation, because everybody putting on. I need to really help my people. And the way to help my people is to get the real stories, to get the real people, so they can see, not just through me, but other people not starving. They figured it out. They've got a skill set, and they figured it out themselves. They might not be rich yet, but they're on the way, but they don't realize it's way more people not rich than it is people who are rich.
Right.
And so you trying to help the other rich people with more stuff. I'm like, people will give Jay-Z anything he asks for, what I'm saying? But they give you hell trying to get something. So I'm like, look, I ain't giving him no extra stuff. He got more than enough people giving him something. No disrespect, but who is this person here who can use a spotlight, who can use something, and those type of things? So that's what the platform is about. And again, you fit the bill 100%. And again, I just want to thank you for doing what you're doing, man. Continuously doing what you're doing, for taking it out there and writing that book, writing those 3 books. Keep showing up and showing out for your family, man. Keep setting that legacy up. Let everybody know how they can support you, how they can find the books, where they can find them at, where you're going to be at. If you got speaking engagement, anything, however they can support you, let everybody know.
Okay. Well, you know, first you can go to pick my book up on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. You can get that. You can get at me on Facebook. I'm on all social platforms, man. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on TikTok. So you put in Ballin, the first of a trilogy, it's gonna come up. So it's coming up before it's coming up even before the song now, the Ballin.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
So yeah, so just Google, you can Google Willie Williams, Willie C. Williams, you know what I'm saying? Anything Ballin, first of a trilogy, it's gonna pop up. It's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok. So I'm everywhere. So you could most definitely go get that book from Amazon. It's an adult page turner. It's the page turner. I'm telling you. So, you know, like I'm saying, people like Waka Flocka got it, The Game, Famous Amos, DJ
Famous Amos. I interviewed him as well. I interviewed him as well.
Yeah, so yeah, you know, the book doing pretty good. You know, book, I ain't want to say how many.
No, congratulations, man. Congratulations. No, do that. That's what this is about. You know, I inspire. My daughter wrote 2 books. I wrote 3. She wrote 2. She's 13 years old. Okay. You know, collectively over the last 3 years, we've sold 10,000 books. So we're working.
That's my goal. That's my goal.
We're working. So put that out there, man. You know, because I want this to be a cool thing. I want kids to want to write. I want brothers and sisters to want to write a book. You know, because publishing, they always say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled, believe it don't exist. Publishing is a major, situation. It's literally a major industry, like the car industry, like the music industry, and it's controlled by a certain amount of people. And we don't even worry about it. Like, nah, don't worry about that. But if enough people that look like you and I start writing and start putting out something, because you got to understand, a lot of these movies we're watching are made from books.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So these TV series are from books. You know, like they're not telling us that. They don't want us to know that, so that we can really do this thing all the way through. Like Ballin can be somebody's movie.
I got that already ready. I'm working on that.
This is what I'm talking about.
Soundtrack too.
This is what I'm saying. And so nobody talks about that. And even the chosen few that look like us that choose to go that route, like a Steve Harvey, and he took his book and made it into a movie, you know, it's because they saw that they can make some money off him because he leveraged his celebrity. But the lady that did Harry Potter wasn't no celebrity. She just was a writer. Yeah. And now she's a billionaire author.
Yeah, with a K, you know with a DK something like that.
J.K. Rowling. So Stephen King wasn't no billion. He was just a writer. You know what I'm saying? But then he started doing. So writers still to this day, publishing is still $1 billion industry. And so we're not in the fashion industry enough. I remember Russell Simmons said, fashion is $1 billion industry, but we get 1/10 or 1% of it.
Right. And
I bet you if you do the same numbers, it'll be the same in publishing. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the same in publishing. We probably getting very minute piece of the finances in publishing. And we're sitting there like, it's all good. Like, no. We got to do that. So spit your numbers, get your books out there. And that's residual income. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that in the next 10 years, with these books, next thing you know, you sitting down because you getting checks every few months.
Right.
And then when you gone, your daughter and your grandbabies are getting checks for the rest of their life because of the work you did. Put that out there. You know what I'm saying? We got to put that out there. So that's what we doing, man. Y'all know what we do here on S.T.A.R.V.E Talk. Another great conversation, another great person here. Y'all know how to find me, www.jhaleem.com. IWon'tStarve.com. Go to S.T.A.R.V.E Talk on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment on the videos. Go ahead and subscribe to the podcast so that you can catch up with people like Willie. Get the book go on Amazon. I just put in Ballin. It's pop up. As soon as you put in Ballin, it's gonna pop right up.
Go pop up.
So go get the book. Pop up, man. You watching the video, you're gonna see this on the screen. You're gonna see the links and everything on the screen. Y'all know how we do. So he'll be able to go ahead and get with him. Bring him to your city to speak. Bring him to the city to talk. He got an amazing story. I'm sure he got even more to share than he shared here. Go ahead and holler at him, support him, coming all the way from Mullins, South Carolina. Willie, thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your time this morning, man. And I look forward to reading the book because I'm definitely going to support you.
True.
And, seeing you in the mix.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man, this morning.
No problem, man.
We most definitely got to do some more business.
I love it. I love it. Hey, man, have a great one. Look forward to hearing from you soon.
I appreciate you, man.
All right.
I'm in the studio with Haleem.
I'm in the studio with Haleem.
I'm in the studio with J.H.A.R.V.E.TALK.
I'm in the studio with Haleem. I'm in the studio with Haleem.
You are now in the studio with Haleem.